We are live after a few little technical difficulties. We're a little later, but Rosa Lee, isn't that part of the whole new pandemic we live in? I think we start every conversation with, is your technology working? So Rosa Lee, thank you so much for coming on to Facebook Live with me today. Rosa is the owner of My Urban Toddler. I can't wait to have this conversation with you and everybody get to know what My Urban Toddler is all about. But I have to say, once we find out what My Urban Toddler is all about, it'll be really that much more interesting because you come to My Urban Toddler, and that is a children's clothing store, and a really unique background of not starting out in fashion. And so let's really talk about, because when I met you, that was one of the most fascinating parts of the beginning of our soon to be long life friendship. And full disclosure, I'm really excited because Rosa is a new client of mine. And so grateful that we met through Linda Schlesinger of Skinny Tees, the mass connector, I like to call.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But tell us a little bit about yourself.
So when we started talking and I started, telling my story of how I even started My Urban Toddler, I had to go way, way back, right? Like, I think they said on average, women have at least 5 careers. We just like start with one, then adjust. And one of them includes being a mom. And so
I have to stop you because it's not just mom. It's someone once told me this. It's mom, chauffeur, chef, fashion designer. I always love that because it was like, I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you're exhausted before 8 a.m. because you've made breakfast, you've gotten them all out of bed and gotten clothes on. So
we're a stylist, we're a life coach, we're a home decorator, we're an errand runner. I mean, like you name it. Yeah. I mean, so when I say mom, I think everybody gets what I'm talking about. It's a lot of hats. So I went to school for architecture and design, right? So my passion for design started, back in college at the University of Michigan. And I studied in Italy and I studied in Czechoslovakia. So just like a wonderful start to what I thought was going to be a career in architecture. And so then I moved to Chicago and I practiced at a really cool firm called Valerio DeWalt Train. And we did really cool corporate commercial buildings for like US robotics, which they were like the first Palm Pilots, that's like way, way, way back, right? And
I had a Palm Pilot.
Yeah, right. And so then I worked for the architecture firm for a long time, and it was really intense and like really awesome. But I was like, I think I want to do more than maybe take somebody's, what their idea is and try and interpret it. I felt like it limited my creativity. Ironically, I couldn't be as creative because you were limited to maybe what the corporate image was for the client that you're working for. So I couldn't really develop my own. So from there, I went into marketing, and I worked for a company that was one of our clients and helped, manage their design showroom. So you can see that there is still like a thread of design throughout all my careers about like presentation and things. So moving from there, I decided I would attempt a career, or actually start my career in acting and theater. So again, it is about the environment and interacting with like the players and presenting a message and storytelling. I think I've always been good at storytelling. Obviously, I'm still talking.
No, I want you to be.
From a career in acting and things like that. My husband and I decided we'd like to start a family. And so that had to take a little break, so, and I discovered that this is really the thing that I never thought that I wanted. But as soon as Lauren was born, my first daughter, I was like, oh my God, I almost missed out on this amazing experience of being a mom, setting the stage and setting, the environment and designing our lives. And so,
I love how you said that.
yeah.
I really, it's
So
true.
you have 4 children later. And
okay, so you got to stop. Everybody needs to know this busy entrepreneur has 4 children. I mean, I know I
right.
have 3. I know I have 3, and everyone thought I was crazy, but like you only have 2 hands, and then that's when people go, "What? You have 3
Yeah.
kids? Like you only have 2 hands? You have 4, and
Right.
they're young."
And you know what, honestly, I had 3, and that's pretty normal. 3 is like a good number, right? And I had a baby store, and then I got pregnant, and I was really afraid they're gonna think I'm the crazy baby store lady that has babies. I'm like, we had 3 girls, and we were just hoping that, one more would be a boy, and we got lucky. So Michael was 9 years ago. So after Lauren was born and I had to rediscover myself again. I mean, really, after you have a baby, you kind of have to invest in yourself and figure out who you are again. And I didn't want to discard everything that happened in my life. I just said, okay, how can I incorporate all those paths that I took into something that I'm passionate about? And as every new mom or new parent, when they have a baby, they do a ton of research, right? You just go and you look for stuff and you curate the things for your child. And I remember the first time I went to Babies R Us, I went there because it was like a baby registry thing. And I stood in the aisle of bottles and nipples and things like that. And I stood there and I cried because I'm like, it's too much. I have no idea what I'm doing. None. Right.
It is. It's that. I think it's that moment where if you're lucky, you have that good friend who either had a baby, the sister, the mom, and you stand there and go, help. I must not be as smart as I thought I was. I mean, you're just, it's, I mean, not to put down a big box store. I'm not about that, but it feels not personal and scary and overwhelming. And
I think just in general, like what you're saying, I was scared when I was pregnant because it's like a not familiar place, right? You've never been pregnant before. And one thing I think I was telling you about is like, I've always loved fashion. I love clothes. I love accessories, all that. But somehow when I was pregnant, it's like my brain went like this, and disconnected. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I know what I'm supposed to look like, what I'm supposed to wear. So I wore things that covered, I tried to hide. I don't know. It was
I think that there's somewhere in our brain that we're told like you have this beautiful stomach, but and we're a little older than today's moms.
Yeah.
I think today's moms with Instagram and
they embrace it.
Right. Yeah. And pop culture. But we were more, and I'm so much older than you, we were more like, put a tent on and cover it up. Nobody will notice you're pregnant. And I'm like,
shh, don't tell. Yeah.
I think they'll notice.
Yeah. So after that, after my, just realizing like, wait, I'm still me, I developed a passion for finding like intelligent products curated so that it wouldn't be an overwhelming experience. So My Urban Toddler's really focus is curating the best of the best so that when a customer or a parent comes into the store, I've done a lot of that footwork for them. And so that everything in there is like has a form and function, which comes from my architecture background. Like it needs to be a beautiful design, but it needs to serve a purpose. So like anything that you buy as a gift or for yourself, it has to meet those criteria. And so if you come into Urban Toddler, you're not overwhelmed by too many choices. You have 3 choices, maybe like within a swaddle, and you just say, okay, this one's muslin, the best of the muslin. This one's bamboo, best of the bamboo. And then this one is like a wool one for like, wintertime or whatever. So I do myself.
It was one of the things I really did enjoy when we first met, and I made you go through the branding and talk, through things. But I loved that you brought in who you are as far as your architectural background and use the words form and function. Very much who, what your background is and who you are. and you bring that into, your new, it's not new, but your new ventures, and meaning that anytime you place an order, you think about the consumer,
Yeah.
and how will they use this? What does it look like in my store? And then the function of how will they use that? And I think that in itself then eliminates the person standing there going, I don't know what to do, because then you know, in a personalized way, you can say, well, this is why I chose this item. This is how you're going to
Mhm.
utilize it. Um, what do you see, when the biggest hurdles, in having that specialty, store, which you do? I mean,
Mhm.
you carry multiple sizes up until a certain point,
Yeah.
and maybe accessories up until a certain point. But what do you see as the hurdles of being in a business, that is special?
Well, so the biggest hurdle is that we're a small business, right? So our voice is smaller compared to like big companies that have like large advertising budgets.
Hmm.
But because of social media and online, it's really given us an opportunity to be super creative. Like we can compete by just being more flexible. Like we can just like adjust very quickly. Where like when everything shut down, we had to go to FaceTime appointments. We did it like right away. There was no conference meeting, to figure out how we were going to do it. We're just like, let's just go for it. Let's just get out there. And I think that we're super lean and we can adjust very quickly. So the hurdle is getting the word out to people to let them know that we're here and
Hmm.
that we're part of a community of parents globally and not just in our area. So we focused for a long time just on the brick and mortar, but wow, COVID-19 was like, yeah, you can't do that. And it was something that I knew I needed to do, but it was a nice push in that direction to be like, hey, get your stuff online, tell your story, connect to people
Right.
wherever they are. And so I like the hurdle has now become my North Star. I'm like, that's where I need to go.
I will say, and I've said this to you now a couple times and offline, I think that, you're one of those business women who gets it, and that, um, which is such a blessing, that you can take from, I look for blessings. You're going to take something from this pandemic, which there aren't a lot of things when people are dying and sick and all of that. But from a business standpoint, I think it made people really stop and say, where am I okay? Where, what do I need to work on? And how am I reaching or not reaching my clients because they can't get to me?
Mhm.
And you quickly adapted, yourself to say, okay, well, they may not be walking in my store in March and April, but I can walk into their lives. They're
Mhm.
home, they're online. I'm going to do videos. I'm going to show my products. Um, I'm going to I'm going to get in my store. I'm going to get on my phone. I'm going to show, you're still dressing your kids. Interestingly enough, we may not dress ourselves all the time. God knows we dress our children.
Yeah.
I mean,
Makes
I
us feel
think
better.
it does. I'm like, I think like, you may not, I think it's really true. You're always going to dress your kids. And do you feel like, you were at the time or now, do you feel like your technology, was set up, or do you have advice for those small businesses that kind of need that push as well to say, hey,
So
because I hear we're going into that second wave. I keep hearing it. I don't really
yeah.
know what that means.
And I think just don't be afraid of doing it. And I remember doing my first Facebook Live and not even I was worried about how many people were watching. Don't worry about that. Just do your thing. They'll find you And if you're engaging and just honest, they'll just keep coming back. So I think the first thing is just get over like, I'm not good enough, you know, or I don't have something important to say. I think that was like the biggest message that I would encourage other small business owners is like, don't be afraid. You do know your business better than anyone else. You do, period.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because whenever I have clients who are afraid to do media, it's the first thing I say to them. I always say, like, I know you're nervous. That's just a natural feeling to be nervous to do something different. However, nobody knows your business like you. Nobody thinks about your business like you do. Nobody breathes your business like you do. And so what you're doing is just talking about what you think about, what you breathe, you know, on a daily basis. And I think that's amazing advice, that and also amazing advice, because I think that in this clouded social media world, that people are scrolling a lot, but they are stopping and looking at videos more. We're in an interesting time between an election and a pandemic. There's a lot of traffic out there. So, looking at beautiful things is really one of those great things that people want to do.
Yeah.
It gives them
looking at beautiful things, and also just the fact that we're a baby store gives us like that opportunity, because it's happy news. I mean, people that are shopping for a gift, getting the gift, and us helping them, we're all like, this is good news. Babies are good news.
Well, and isn't it interesting? I think that we're going to see that a lot of babies were born during this time. The fact that people were pregnant before, but I think we are gonna see a lot of babies, so that'll be good for you.
Yes, we'll be ready.
I do want to say your brick and mortar is in the Ann Arbor area. However, the truth of the matter is that really doesn't matter, because the wonderful thing is that you can shop through you, and you shop through you. And you're right. I mean, if I call a big box store, one of those big, I'm going to get somebody who, God bless them, is working, their hours, and they're going to go down an aisle and they're going to do their best to help me. But I am not going to get the owner of the store. And even if I complain, I'm not going to get the owner of the store.
Right.
So if I call, My Urban Toddler, I'm getting you or one of your very, very well-trained salespeople right now. You also, I'm going to switch gears a little bit, have participated in something extraordinarily unique. Not a lot of people do it. And that was the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Business Program. Did I get that name right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't mean to, but like all of a sudden I'm like, did I hear myself? Can you tell me, I mean, I've had, more friends than not tell me, why haven't you done that yet? And Linda being one of them. But, can you tell me, what that program meant to you and how it really, I'm not trying to give them a plug, but I can give them a plug. But I think that it's been extraordinary, for a lot of people, and how it's helped your business.
I think it's life-changing. Actually, it was life-changing for myself personally and for the business. And it's a really cool program that Goldman Sachs created, because they believe in small businesses, and because if you think about it, within a community, we're employing local people, we are supporting other philanthropies, so it's important, because it's this incredibly important network. And Goldman Sachs only takes small businesses and the CEOs or founders or people that are in charge of making decisions. And a lot of the companies that apply for it and get in are companies that are successful or looking to get more successful. I would say I went in sort of feeling like an imposter, because everybody in the class was incredible. Amazing, insurance companies to construction companies to cupcake places to Epiphany Glass. these people are exceptional people. So you're surrounded.
Well, and so are you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're surrounded by exceptional people. They bring in these incredible teachers and they teach you about your business and how to run a business and how to reestablish yourself as you again. I think when you start a business, you're very enthusiastic about it. And then you start doing it and you're just kind of like, you're looking down at the ground and you're just kind of doing everything every day. But this program actually made you step away from your office, literally, and look at your business, take an organizational audit, which means like who's in your organization, which includes home, friends, everything. And like who in your life is like hindering you from getting to your goals or helping you. That was like, mind blowing. And as well as finance, marketing, mission, vision statement. So it was a really intense, condensed MBA program. But we all left feeling like, oh my God, we can do this. And we've been given an opportunity to have a business. What are you going to do? Right. And so I thought that program, I really highly recommend it to apply for even they're doing it virtually. And it's still just really made a huge impact on my business. I mean, it took me a little bit to kind of take all that information, processing, move forward, but it's been 2 years and best thing I ever did.
Well, I can only, I mean, like I said, I know we're giving a plug, but I have, I think 3 or 4 clients now who have gone through the program, and one of the teachers who I'm working with, and who I'll start their conversation with, how come you haven't done it yet? And, so at some point I will be, I'm sure, but I have been really impressed by it because the people who, like yourself, really have a way of looking at your business and analyzing it and making, very clear-cut steps of how you want to grow your business, which I think is incredible, especially when things happen. And it's not every day a pandemic happens. I mean, this is not something that happens, but things happen in business. And what I have witnessed from the clients I work with who have gone through that particular program, they were ready for the thing that happened, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. I would note one huge thing from that program that is a benefit is now you're connected with 10,000 small business owners. You get access to other business owners that are so intelligent and creative and inspirational. So like Linda, our mutual friend, I'm like speechless how awesome she's been already in my life. And it's only been like 2 or 3 times that I've talked to her, but it was because of the Goldman Sachs program that I even could have met her. So
right. And I've seen that as well. The network and the resourcing is bar none. It's incredible. I know that you have to get back in your store, which is good because I'm working on your account today as well. And the good news is we're entering the holiday season. And you and I've talked offline about it, and we'll have lots of conversations about that. Today is a second day of Amazon Prime. And I'm guilty as anyone. I use Amazon. I mean, I do, but I couldn't be more of a proponent of shop local and shop our community. I think that during this time, people are going online more. And so if you had like this one wish or billboard or could afford anything and said to me, your new publicist and marketing person, and I know that we don't have that kind of budget, but what would you scream from the rooftop to say to people like, great, Amazon Prime is wonderful, and these other places and Walmart, Walgreens, whatever, Target, they're all going to do a different version of Black Friday now because we're not rushing the stores. But the truth of the matter is, in order to keep our communities going, we need My Urban Toddler. I posted, I think, almost all of my retailers yesterday in my social media to say, like, yeah, I'm guilty. The Amazon person comes, Amazon Prime comes to my house. It does. I don't pretend to be someone I'm not. But I, need a gift. I'm going online to, get a gift as often as I can from a local store or go into a local store. So, now it's the holiday. What do you want from me? What do you want from your community to say, shop me first,
Yeah, well, I've heard from lots of my customers, like the experience of shopping is lost a little bit. It's like your job on Amazon. It's a job, right? You have to go, you have to type in your keyword, you have to try and think of like what you're looking for, you don't even know. Our place is a place for discovery, for you to be creative, like for you to put together your gift bundles that are amazing. And you know what? You're not alone. We're right there. Like I've curated the products, the brands, I know the stories, I know how they're manufactured. And we're going to help you put together like a unique gift, because the people that you're buying for are also just as unique as the things that we have at our store. So if you go on Amazon, you are mass shopping, right? And like you said, I use Amazon. I get a lot of things like shipped regularly, like toilet paper. But like when
Can you
want
find
something,
toilet paper on Amazon? I haven't
we
had
were
that
on the
before.
auto ship way before even COVID happened. That just is kind of like with 6 children. I mean, not 6 children. I only have 4 children. We're all children. Oh. Anyway, the point
but 6 in your house.
6 in my house. Yes. And the point is like, don't miss out on still enjoying buying gifts.
Yeah.
Amazon, I feel like you miss that sort of feeling of you picked it, you got to see it, even if it's virtually, all together. Because on Amazon, when you put it in your cart, they're just individual icons, but you don't actually get to see it all together. And I think that's the advantage, is like you get to see your creation all together. So the experience, everything.
I'm so glad you said that, because I think it's really true. And this is not a bash against, again, any of the big boxes, as they call and take me down off social media. But, the truth is that this holiday season, and we don't know for how long, is going to be different. And so we're going to need to ship. We may not be with everybody we normally would be with. And, how do we make it special like we're there? And special is not the gift in a box, in a brown box.
Right.
It's just not. And and what you just said, where the gift that you're picking is as unique as the person that you're giving it to. And yes, I'll be using that. And that you're a place of discovery. Also love that. The truth is that all of our community-based businesses have that opportunity. And I always hope that they have a website, but the truth is most today have social media. So the bottom line is, if you see a sweater on Instagram or Facebook and they don't have a website, you can pick up the phone and say, hey, you posted, that sweater. Does it come small, medium, and large? You don't have to give up because they don't have a website. And I've run into this where you have been smart to have a website, to ship, and to invest in that. Not all small businesses do. I wish they did. And after this pandemic, as we go through it, I think many will, or figure it out. But My Urban Toddler, and everybody watching, and as we repost this, you can go to your website, you can shop it. You told me a great story the other day about a realtor who came in. I'll share. And she picked out 6 or 8 gifts.
8.
And they were all individually, wrapped and sent out to all these, all
Oh,
of all
I'll
of
tell
her
you the
clients.
experience. She came in and she was like visibly overwhelmed. She's like, oh my God, I have fallen behind on so many gifts. I don't even know where to begin. I'm like, let's get paper, right? So it was as a collaboration. I said, okay, tell me what are the ages, girl or boy? And then we created a unique gift for each one of them. None of them were the same. Like they were all, and it was so much fun. We had so much fun. So basically what we did was we wrapped up all the presents, but I took a picture of the grouping of each of them with the person's name so that she could refer back to, oh yeah, that's what I gave them, And she's like, oh my gosh, that was amazing, incredible. I said, and then we walked out to her car and with her 8 boxes, and I'm like, how do you feel? And she goes, I feel like I accomplished something.
Just like, it was like for her, that was like selling another house. And what I love about that is, my guess is that's how she handles her clients. She felt like my feeling is that she takes that care with her own clients. So that's why she felt so amazing. And, and that she could just breathe and know, like, wow, my clients now are in great care.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think it's really important. Your store, there's a reason that things are in your store and how it looks. Going back to your architectural background, you went to that other school that I did not go to, but that's okay. I paid a lot of tuition there. You probably will too, with 4 kids. Your site is, for everybody, myurbantoddler.com. It's super, super easy. Your ages are preemies to size 8, correct?
Yep.
I don't want to misquote or say
And we do carry
anything.
some gifts for moms to be, like matching robes and gowns and, established 2020 coffee cups and, cute things. And
I love that.
Some things for grandparents too. Let's not forget, it takes a village.
Oh my God, it's going to take more than a village, because like I said, I think 2021, we're going to see a lot of wonderful things come out of this pandemic. It's going to be a lot of babies. People
like
yesterday, stuck home.
Yes, but yesterday a woman came in and I said, are you looking for a gift? And she goes, I'm actually buying a gift for my first granddaughter. And I'm like, how did that feel to say that? And she goes, amazing.
I always say I just want my kids to date. Then I'll be a, but I'd like to be a great aunt. Or I told you that. I'm like, now I know where I'm shopping.
Yay.
So I want to wrap up because I know you're going back in and helping people today. Tell everybody what's probably visually when they walk in. What do you think, or how do you want people to see or feel when they walk in your store?
I know the answer to this question, because it's like something that I focus on. Like, you should feel like you're at home, like welcome, like you're our guest, and so a guest in your home, you would never just not greet them. You wouldn't just open the door and just have them figure it. So it's usually like, hi, welcome, can I show you where things are? Like that's what you would do in your home. That's how we do it here. Like, how are you? It's gorgeous outside. It's not about the sale, it's about a relationship. So yeah, it's like, come to a place.
I love that. I think that goes back to that everything in your store has form and function. It's you're welcoming someone into your home, and there's a reason for them to have walked in, to stumble upon your store, and find something to look around, to explore, and, as you said, to discover. So I'm so glad we could meet. Thank you, Linda. I always have to thank her. But also, I'm excited to be able to work together. We have a lot of fun things to do, and I'm glad that we got to have FaceTime Live today. You do a great job on your videos. So
thank you.
Have an amazing, amazing day. And I'm glad technology cooperated for a while with us.
Thank you so much.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, talk to you soon.